What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing what happens if the new Batman game is not at the Game Awards. Now, a few weeks ago, we had talked about how this needs to happen, right? It absolutely, no matter what we've all gone through all these months that they've just been nothing, absolutely no announcement from them. We talked about how the game needs to be announced, I think, at the Game Awards. And, there's different viewpoints as to talking about this game. I know there's a lot of people that will just say, you just got to give them time. You just got to wait for them to kind of announce it. And ultimately, I think that is going to be part of this overall discussion, because what happens if it's not there? Now, again, truly in my heart of hearts, I will tell you guys that I believe that this game is going to be there. I really think I don't know. Something I feel like did definitely happen inside their studio, possibly delaying an announcement. I really want to believe that this game was supposed to be announced earlier, and we have gotten kind of teases from quote-unquote insiders, especially on Twitter, that have kind of said that, kind of have echoed what I've said, in that there has been some things that have happened in the studio, and maybe we'll get more information over the next little while. So it does kind of line up. Now, again, like here we are. We're just a few, I think by the time you guys are watching, it's like next week is the Game Awards, right? So that's insane. And it really, really does need to be there. But let's play devil's advocate and let's say that the game is not at the Game Awards. What happens then? Well, I think there's going to be a petition somewhere to storm Warner Bros. Montreal. I really do feel like, and that's a joke, but at the same time, I feel like it really has, everybody's reached their tipping point. And you've seen over the last couple weeks, I actually feel like enthusiasm or people like getting back into it, I feel like it is starting to pick back up now. But for a large majority of, especially November, it was just like everybody truly did leave. And that's fine. And that's something that a lot of people have been saying, obviously, since August, right? Of like, hey, I'm just gonna peace out, and when it happens, but I'm not gonna keep doing this to myself over and over. And I think a lot of people said that, but they actually still stayed on. And then when it came to November, people actually did peace out. And what I'm kind of saying is, like, if the Game Awards comes and goes and there's no announcement, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem of people that are just flat out done. Now, I constantly go back to the idea of, like, I really think people are just going to come back no matter what. All the people that said, like, you know what, nope, I'm done. These guys have made me so angry. We're all going to come back, right, once the game gets announced. Like, I think that's just something that people are going to do. It's just they're venting their frustrations down. They have every right, by the way, to do that. That's something that everybody definitely is able to do. But I really do feel like, basically, I'm predicting that that's going to happen again. That if it's not announced at the Game Awards, that there's going to be significant fan pushback, being like, what is going on? And that's ultimately like the biggest thing, right? Is like, we'll all be saying the same things again. The website, the teases, all in September, early September, all this stuff. Why wouldn't you have announced it at the Game Awards? Now, the bigger picture problem, I guess, and that's what we can talk about next, is what would be going on with the game, okay? And, again, like teasers and leakers and all this stuff have said, they even said like there would be an announcement in October. Obviously, they were wrong, and that's why I don't necessarily look to them for Batman advice going forward. But we've had people also say I think there was a push for like Game Awards, absolutely. And as we've gotten closer and closer, it's kind of gotten a little bit more like, we don't really want to talk about it, right? Like, it's kind of scary to even be like, well, and I have seen people say, like, it's not a guarantee that it's at the Game Awards. It's not guaranteed, but they're kind of afraid to fully say it, right? Because I think it's going to make people mad. But again, okay, so it's not the Game Awards, right? What happens? What is going on with the game itself? Well, there's significant, I believe, problems. I really do believe that. Going back to like August, I think we all would have said that this was no doubt, I mean, at least I was saying it, no doubt a current gen game. We even had a video before one of the people on our channel had even told me to go to their website and look, and the game had been said that it was going to be a current gen game. So I kept saying, June of 2020, or at least the first half of 2020, and a lot of people even said, well, maybe August, right? Because Arkham Asylum came out in August, and that's totally a possibility. Anywhere really before September, I'd say, right? And then once it gets to September onwards, then we're looking at a next gen game, and across. I would say it's not going to be only for next gen; it would be for both. But that's around the time it would come out. And as it's gotten pushed more and more, I think that's what it's kind of leaning to. I saw somebody say make a video talking about if you believe it, and like I said, I did do that. But I think the question should be raised again. Especially, I think even if it's announced at the Game Awards, there still could be a question of, is it going to be both? But as it gets farther and farther. And if there is no announcement in the Game Awards and this goes into 2020, the question could definitely be raised, like, is this game been pushed so far that now they're like, okay, well, we need to make like an upgraded version for next gen and also current gen, like the normal game. And is that kind of a conversation that they're having? I don't think. Again, I keep going back to. I don't think it was meant to be like this. I know as soon as it was announced, a lot of people immediately jumped to the Game Awards, whether it be Jeff Keighley's connection, the Game Awards / VGAs in general. There's a lot of connections there, and they've missed a lot of prime opportunities ever since then where they could have done it instead. So I think to some people that definitely did think it was going to just be at the Game Awards, nothing really has changed. But if it isn't, I really think no matter what, there has been something that's been going on in the studio where it's like we wanted to announce this maybe late October. I would honestly assume that they did want to do it for Origin's anniversary. Of all of the key dates, and Origin's anniversary came and went. You didn't really see articles. You didn't really see people talking about it. Instead of, remember when Arkham Asylum, they had that 10-year anniversary. There was a lot around that, right? Rocksteady had been doing kind of like look back, saying like these are the concept arts for these games. And there was just a lot of articles written talking about that anniversary. So while that one got a lot more like press and a lot more like people talking about it, I think it just would have made more sense for Origins. Here's the anniversary of our game, the only one we made, and hey, we're working on a new one, and here it is. I really do think that, along with, again, the people, the insiders that had said, like, October is the time, and then it was pushed. So I really do think that it wasn't supposed to get to December. We weren't supposed to get to this point. I think they are fully aware of that, and now the question is it going to be next week? Because if it is, fantastic, great, I guess. I mean, we've all been waiting for it for so long. I think a lot of us are just going to be like, thank God that it's actually out. You know what I mean? Like, we'll make videos, we'll be talking about it. I think one of the things in the back of our heads will just be kind of like, like a worrisome thing gone. Like how worried we all kind of are, and it's just like calm and surreal, right? And it's like, well, at least we know the game is actually out. And again, I mean, even if it's just a teaser, and that also is a thing, too, is depending on how much they give us at the Game Awards, that could also be framed of, again, is the game coming out within 6 to 8 months, because we know Warner Bros. Likes to do that, or is this a game that's going to take almost a year from the announcement? And there's nothing wrong with that, and people keep kind of saying, like, it doesn't matter, stuff like that on YouTube, like, it'll come out when it comes out. I get that. I'm okay with that. I've been a supporter of that idea for a very, very long time, before before this Batman game. I don't even want to call it Arkham anymore. Before this Batman game even got announced, they can, it can be released whenever they want to do it. But I think we're all kind of owed at least a teaser, especially with all the stuff that we had been promised. So if it's not the Game Awards, I think a lot of people are going to completely freak out. I think a lot of people are going to be very, very mad. I think a lot of people are going to be like, actually, beyond people saying like, I'm just going to peace out until it gets announced, I think we're going to see a large wave of the I told you so crowd that has been around and kind of come and gone, right? They come and go with like the waves where they say, I told you that the game isn't real, right? I told you that the game had been canceled and they're not working on it, stuff like that. We're going to see those people back out, and it's going to be great to see them again, right? So hopefully, crossing our fingers, we don't get to see them again, because it'll be announced and they won't have any, then they'll all come back and be like, oh, then we can say, oh, what happened to the game not being real? What happened to the game being canceled? And again, I get it. All these delays, all these cancelizations of these Warner Bros. Montreal games, like, I get the worry. I get that, it's not, confirmed. They didn't confirm it, but because of the teases, because of the leaks, this has got to be happening. And again, I think that is going to be one of the biggest things said after the game, maybe even from mainstream media, being like, were we wrong? Is this game even being made? Will there be like insiders like Jason Schreier of Kotaku and other insiders saying like, hey, I heard that like they were working on something and then it got canceled and now it's restarted? But it goes back. I just want to end with this. It goes back to what I said maybe a couple weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, in the canceled or delayed video. My ultimate kind of comeback to that is this, and again, I'll say this and then I'll be done, is I honestly, truly believe Warner Bros. Would have shut down Warner Bros. Montreal if that happened. They've been working on nothing, pretty much. In terms of money coming back to them, they've done nothing in 6 years. Like, they made Origins, they did the Batgirl DLC, but how much money did that really make, and did that even come, kind of through them? So you're Warner Bros., you're the publisher, you're the owner of this studio, of multiple studios that are supposed to be making games that will eventually make you money, and you have a studio that's canceled at least 2 games, probably 3, and then you think that, again, and like this is what I said in that video, that they canceled another game just now, like in August or September, and Warner Bros., the company, let that happen, said, oh, you know what, you're cool, cancel the game, even though it was probably within like a year of coming out, and then, you guys can just work on something brand new, like just restart again. I really don't think that would have flied. I really don't think that would work, because it's like, you're not earning us any money. You're not, in a way, you're not doing anything that's productive in terms of making us money. So I will go back to that. This game is real. If it's not at the Game Awards, I don't know what their plan for announcing it is. I guess I would move it to, I don't even know. There's really no anniversaries in that time. I guess E3. I guess they must be waiting for E3. That's going to be the question, right? If it's not the Game Awards, then when the heck will they announce it? Maybe just on their own on a random date, but it's like, I don't know. It's just very, very weird. I mean, I really don't think they can let the Game Awards come and go without announcing anything. It would be another shot to the foot, which they've already shot themselves in the foot so much they had to cut it off. And so unless they've regrown it or like somebody donated one to them, they're not going to be able to do it. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this game is going to be announced at the Game Awards? How will your mindset change about this game if it isn't at the Game Awards? And what do you think everybody else is going to say about it if it's not there? Let me know. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos come up. The Discord server is in the description below. I like to plug that every now and again. Join that community there. Loads of people talking about Arkham. Make sure you guys are, again, subscribing, doing all the social media, sharing, liking, commenting, all that stuff. You guys have been doing a fantastic job. And there'll be a new video, I believe, on Thursday. And then next week, we're really going to start ramping things up for this new game. And I hope to see you guys there.